Okay, here now to discuss the president's visit to Arizona is Mike Huckabee, former governor of Arkansas. He is also a Fox News contributor. Let's start, Governor, with the scene we just saw. So it's a rally. It's in Phoenix. People are close together. They don't have masks on. I mean, we're going to play mask gotcha and everything else for the rest of this political season, but the cases are spiking in that area. So how does this play on both sides politically?
Well, it's unfortunate that it's even become a political issue. It ought to be a public health issue, and that should transcend anybody's politics. People ought to be careful. They ought to social distance, keep their hands clean, frankly, keep their hands to themselves. Maybe for a while it's best we don't shake hands and hug a whole lot of people until we know where this thing is going. But I do understand people are frustrated, and I'll tell you the other thing, Melissa, they're tired of getting sometimes very mixed messages. You know, for several weeks we were told, don't wear a mask, it's dangerous to wear a mask. Now it's, if you don't wear a mask, you're going to kill grandma. So it's a little hard for some people to figure out which is it. It can't be both. And, you know, for a while, wipe down your groceries as soon as they come in and don't touch them. Now it's, you're probably not going to be bothered by that. So the mixed message is part of the problem. And I think a lot of people are just so tired of being holed up in their homes that they're ready to bust out and take the risk.
What do you think about this? So 200th mile of the wall, new wall, whether it's redone wall, whatever it is, another game over semantics. Is that a lot of wall or not a lot of wall? I mean, how does that stack up in your mind?
Well, it's 200 more miles than we had before. So I think it's an important part. I do think it's valuable for the president to say that he's fulfilling that promise to secure the border. The one thing he has to show is that there's a dramatic contrast between what he would propose and what the Democrats propose. They want open borders. They don't want a wall at all. They don't even want a checkpoint. And what he's saying is, look, we want people to come to the country, but not only do we want them to come with a specific purpose, but we want to know that we need them in our economy and that they're not bringing a disease with them. Every other country in the world is right now doing that. Heck, the EU may not even let Americans in. So all because of health concerns. I don't know why people think that the president is doing the wrong thing by making sure that we control our borders. An uncontrolled border is the first mark of not having a country whatsoever.
Yeah. You know who else has a border and a wall and a checkpoint? Seattle's police-free zone. Mayor Jenny Durkan announcing the dismantling of the movement known as CHOP after increasing violence in the area, which led to one person being killed in a shooting over the weekend. Governor, I'm wondering how she's going to manage this. She says that she wants people to just peacefully leave. I'm not sure that's really going to happen. She's discouraged the police, so I don't know. She's going to sing, you know, Barney's cleanup song, clean up, everybody. Man, maybe they'll do it if she gets out there and puts on a Barney costume and sings, or she could call the Ghostbusters. I don't know how she's going to do this without police. What are your thoughts?
Well, that's a great description of what's going on. I think maybe that recreational marijuana has taken hold in Seattle, and she's one toke over the line. This is a woman who is delusional about what she's dealing with. These are not people going to a festival and bringing potluck dinners. These are not people enjoying the summer of love. I lived through the 60s. Apparently she didn't. But these are anarchists. These are people who have illegally taken over a part of a major city in this country and have declared it to be autonomous. Now, that's a lot of things. It's a felony. It's insurrection. It's holding people hostage in their own neighborhood. It's all kinds of breaking and entering. It's defacing public property. And she looks the other way as if this is all fine and good. When you let people start taking other people's property and you don't consequence it and you allow it to happen, if she thinks that it's going to get better, she's crazy. It's only going to get worse, because if they take $10 worth of something and there are no consequences, the next time it'll be 100, then 1,000, and then 10,000. And this is why she should have stopped this before it ever got this far.
It's going to be interesting to watch. We'll hope nobody gets hurt. Governor Huckabee, thank you so much. Connell, over to you.